Time to take you back to 2009 and the richest EPT Monte Carlo main event of all time. A tournament with a prize pool of more than €9 million. At the final table, Dutch pro Pieter de Korver found himself steering clear of trouble. He folded his way up the payouts as the chip leader Dag Mikkelsen worked his way through the field. We pick up the action with 4 players remaining, all guaranteed at least 600k.
But now Pieter de Korver has picked up pocket nines in the small blind.
Great place to get him. He can get busy. This will be his chance. You've got to take into account that it's 160,000 chips just for the big blind. So it'll be an all-in for Woodward if he wants to call it. Given that it's a small blind raise, you'd imagine Woodward is interested. But how interested? Is he a call interested or is he an all-in interested? We're about to find out.
So many hands that de Korver would fold any ace reg. Oh, instant all-in and call.
Well, it's like watching the Mitchell brothers play against each other. It's the two shave heads. One of them's got to go.
Let's see the flop.
Right, let's see the flop indeed. Does nothing. De Korver still out in the lead. Increases his chances. 7 times out of 10 he wins this going into the turn in the river.
Let's see the turn card.
It comes down to queen. That makes it interesting. So what is it? A king, a jack, a 10.
Yeah, good turn card here for Woodward.
He needs all of those cards.
In order to double through here.
King, jack or 10 for Woodward. If not, de Korver doubles through and puts himself over 5 million chips. But it's the 10 of diamonds that cripples de Korver. He's down to 365,000 chips when the blinds are up at 160,000.
Just before the break, Pieter de Korver was down to just 2 big blinds. With no choice other than push, that's exactly what he did.
He raises all in.
Going all in once.
4 is good.
And tripling up. Again and doubling up through Dag.
6 of clubs.
Oh, he's a ball genius.
He's going to double through.
And if that wasn't enough, he gave it another shot.
Oh, hello.
And flopped a straight against, you guessed it, poor old Dag.
This man's more lives than Annabelle's cats.
Is this entertainment or what?
So still at the bottom of the pile, but Pieter enjoying some better fortune and is well out of the danger zone.
How much? 380.
I think for all of these players here, this is the hugest score they've ever made in a poker tournament.
Hold on here. De Korver's gone up against the big stat ace jack. Now we've just watched what he's done over the last hour or so. He's going to push all. He has to push all. Come on! He asked the question, is this entertainment or what? Yes it is. Pieter, yes it is.
You got it?
I feel like running down to the table and planting one right in your lips. Mikkelsen, of course, calls, and this is, well, not quite a coin toss, but it's in the lap of the cards. Where would de Korver be if he won this? I don't want to get too far ahead.
Wow. And de Korver hits right away. 2 pair on the flop.
If this holds up, he's going to go from 365,000 chips to 7.75 million chips, just 200,000 short of Dag Martin Mikkelsen. He needs to avoid the 10 of the queen here for a quite remarkable story. I shouldn't be this biased, but please miss it. He has! De Korver's almost chip leader.
And like, how many all-ins did he have to win to get there now?
Countless. Countless.
He hasn't found a lot of hands to play here. Mikkelsen raises with king 10 and a re-raise. That's a min raise. A min re-raise from the blind with pocket 6s from de Korver. That is... I don't think that's a good play. It gives the odds to Mikkelsen to call. He's always going to call here, no matter what he has. And you don't want to see a flop with pocket 6s, unless it has a 6.
Yeah. Okay.
And it does.
Yeah. Tell you what, Ben. The commentator's curse. Full house for de Korver.
That's amazing. De Korver's hitting everything.
430,000.
Don't worry about what's it says 2% to Mikkelsen. That means running 10s or running kings, and it's not going to happen. So he's drawn as dead as you can without actually nailing the coffin lid down.
And Mikkelsen calls here.
Dag will make the call.
He wants to make a move on de Korver.
That's okay. It's not too expensive for him so far. I tell you what's expensive. If he hits that gut shot straight on the river, that's where he's going to lose everything. And that's the problem. He just you know, softly, catchy monkey, card at a time, and you can get yourself into such trouble when the move was to walk away.
But the thing is, like, de Korver is playing so straightforward. He's playing his hands when he has something, and he bets on the flop.
Yeah.
He bets on the turn. He raises before the flop.
Oh, Mickelson's asking him how much he has. Well, he doesn't have what he had about an hour and a half ago, which was a chip and a chair.
That's going to be pretty expensive. 5 million behind. That's a lot of chips. And I think Mickelson has decided to pull the trigger on him here.
Well, if he does, it's going to backfire and shoot him in the face.
Oh. I can understand what he's trying to do. He's
All in.
and then it's a call. Oh.
Bang goes the dynamite.
Drawing dead.
Look at that. He's invincible. He's a superhero. He's Batman, Spider-Man, and Superman rolled into one.
Drawing dead. 320.
Well,
And now they all call and want to have Martin Mickelson all in from the big blind. Queen 9, King 7, and Dag is all in, of course. He has a hand. Best hand for now.
you know, anyone who's anyone in poker comes to Monte Carlo to play in the EPT. It's the prestige event. It's one of the biggest poker events in the world. This is a grand final, and over the seasons we've had so far, I thought I'd seen everything really until today. Right from the very start, losing the third biggest stack. Then, of course, we've got the de Korver story, and Mickelson losing this stack as well. He's not out of it yet. That's not a good flop for him. And it's that man de Korver. Looks like he could increase his chip stack. There's his 2 pair at the moment. And with that, Mickelson is drawn dead. Dag Martin Mickelson is out. It's the poker equivalent of throwing himself off the Empire State Building here. And there's no one at the bottom to catch him. What a fall from grace.
Yeah. The only one who's going ahead and ahead and ahead is Pieter de Korver, who wins yet another pot here.
Pieter de Korver, who's new to Team Pro Netherlands, with nearly 16 million, and over 12 million for Matthew Woodward from the USA. Will it be another American winner of the EPT in Monte Carlo?
Looking good right now with the ace-king of clubs against the ace-7 of de Korver, who just calls.
De Korver likes to see a flop, doesn't he? He wants to see that flop as well.
It's the de Korver story.
2 pair and Woodward's in trouble. Could it end here? I mean,
Yeah, it could. It could definitely end here.
because Woodward's loving this. He's loving his hand.
It depends on de Korver, how de Korver plays the hand. If he plays it like strong now, it's going to be over. But it looks like he's just going to call.
He had a little...
No, he's raising. Okay, this could be it right here.
Because the curtain in this poker tournament couldn't even match the curtain in the West End of London, in the most fanciful of musicals, the most fanciful of plays.
This is interesting. Matthew Woodward only called this raise on the flop with the ace-king.
So he's worried about something.
Yeah, I don't know if he's worried really.
2.5 million from de Korver. Even if Woodward folds this, it's a dent.
Yeah, but how can you fold heads up?
He can't.
It's
with
impossible.
His king. He may as well let his granny play if he's going to do that.
He's going to have to call this bet. And he does.
Matthew calls 2.5 million.
Well, there could be, after months and months, just one more card to come in the EPT.
The flush didn't come.
Peter bet all.
And
of
Peter's
course.
going all in.
Of course.
And now Matthew has to fold.
He's got to fold it, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Matthew calls.
He's got to fold it.
That's a really great fold. Not a whole lot of players can make this fold, but he knows now he cannot beat anything but a bluff. And he knows that de Korver hasn't been bluffing.
You will see it on TV.
Matthew raised to 7.
Easy call for de Korver.
Of course, he's got a 9-6.
Yeah, he's got to.
But it's suited.
That's heads up, and he can get a look. He can get away from it. He can play it out. Doesn't matter.
Comes 5, 10, 6.
Oh, now middle pair for de Korver. Middle pair for Woodward. And that low flush draw for Woodward as well, so he's in decent shape.
Matthew bet 700,000.
They'll both fancy it. Oh, he's went all in.
Re-raise.
And that 9 plays. That 9 plays at the
That
moment.
9 plays, exactly. And
Could-
it's...
Could he win with a 9 kicker? Could you imagine?
Well, I don't see Woodward calling here against de Korver, who's playing so straightforward. How can he call on a 4 flush draw? How can he call a middle pair against this guy?
Yeah.
Just don't see it.
I call.
He's called.
But he's had enough of it.
Well, I'm not surprised that it could end like this, but at the moment it's Woodward that's slightly in the driving seat because he's got that flush draw on his side. De Korver doesn't have any hearts, but the 9 plays as the kicker at the moment. They've both got the middle pair. You could lock Walt Disney, Roald Dahl and Hans Christian Andersen in the same room for a year and they could not come up with this story, Ben. The Queen takes his 1 card away from the ultimate fairy tale. Will it be written? It will!
Wow.
Pieter de Korver is the EPT champion. And I have no idea what to say for the first time ever in this tour's history at the end of what has been an unbelievable day.